catastrophic flood. At age 9, he lost God again, only to find God again, then lose God again, then find God again. Our next performer has miraculously handled snakes, spoken in tongues, and washed in the blood of his clothes, his dishes, and his hair. Our next performer has been profiled in America's Most Wanted, To Catch a Predator, and his electrifying podcast on the Godcast Network titled Wake Up and Sin. Just today, set a new daily download record of 1.9 sextillion downloads. Our next performer has been there, and done that, and done that, too. He's come deliver a complete improvised sermon for you. Please, give a big welcome to the stage, the Reverend Preacher, the Reverend Raymond Nader.
Hallelujah! Glory to God! Can I get an amen? Amen? I want to hear an amen. Glory to God! Hallelujah, everyone! Hallelujah! Hallelujah! My name is the Reverend Raymond Nader. I'm come to give you a completely improvised sermon. Thank you very much, Aaron, for that wonderful introduction. You heard him say the word sextillion in a wonderful different way. I love that pronunciation. I love that it has the word sex in it. I want to thank y'all for coming out to the back porch, which is more like a back wall or back something, or the back, I guess, relative to this, maybe not relative to the football field. I told you I'm going to be doing a completely improvised sermon. For some reason, this stage seems unnecessary right now. I want to get into the audience. That to you, whatever that non-verbal thing I'm doing is. And I'm going to be doing an improvised sermon based on a suggestion that you provide, but not just any old suggestion. Instead, it's going to be a suggestion of a certain kind. Mario? A certain kind of suggestion. Perhaps anybody else. You don't have to do this for Mario. It's going to be a suggestion of a sin because, you know, I am a preacher and I like to sermonize about the sin. So I'm going to count 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say, call it a sin, and you're going to spit out one. Just call it out in mass. 1, 2, 3.
Envy. Polygamy.
Envy. Now, sir, one of my very first sermons was envy, and I'm actually going to go for a sermon of envy, but I'm also going to ask for something on top of envy. What kind of envy? Maybe someone else can shout out a kind of envy on which I can sermonize. 1, 2, 3.
Gay envy.
Gay envy. What a day to preach about gay envy. We got the pride going on. We got the homosexuals turning out in droves. I was in Central Park earlier today and they were running 5 miles at a time. They were going around in circles, those gays. I saw a man with flames shooting out behind him with colored socks on. But I'm not the only person who's seen the gays out there. I'm not the person who has been envious of their clothing choices. You too have looked upon the gays and you've thought, I really like what you're wearing. I really like how you express yourself. I really love your sass and your maturity and your openness and your expressiveness. If you experience it, I want to see a nod and a smile. All right, yes, that's right. I know you have gone to parties where the gays have gone, and you've dressed in your finest clothing, and you've gone on and some gay person has shown up in just underwear, and you thought, dang, they outdid me. You've gone to a bar, you've tried to look as great as possible. You've tried to attract people of the opposite sex, but instead you get the attention of all the other people. The people that you just don't know how to process other than in a friendly manner. You don't know how to say, what are you going to do to my groin area? No, you can't tell what they're doing. And that's a problem. That's a right. That's a right. You know, you appreciate how the gays have come out of the closet. You understand that maybe you have deep inside you some closeted feelings. You don't call them a homosexual. No, you don't call them a homosexual. You call them hetero, and you call them hetero, but just a little bit of something, something. You know, you watch the porno and you see the opposite private part and you get a little envious. You know, you see that. Sometimes you watch the gay porno and you're like, you know, it's all right, but I'm not going to tell anybody. It's private. That's what you see. I know these things because I am the Reverend Raymond Nader. The Reverend Nader! And I look deep in your souls and I'm going to tell you about a sermon. I'm going to tell you a story about some kind of gay envy that I have experienced. And it cuts deep to the core. I was down in Chelsea one day. Chelsea, just to be stereotypical. And I was walking down 23rd Street looking for some food. I thought I'd go go into Burritoville, and I went to Burritoville, which I believe is proximal to 8th Avenue, and I walked down that ramp, if you know that ramp, that handicap ramp, down which homosexual handicapped people walk, or roll, or whatever you want to say, and I ordered me a burrito. Now, if you think about it, there's something about the burrito that is a little bit sexual. You know, you look at that massive thing that they're creating, folding over. For some reason you love the girth of it. I know you do, Mario Lowe, you love the girth. It's the girth of the burrito, and you want to cram it in your mouth. Just speaking the truth, you laugh as if it's true. I know you do. I go in, I get my burrito, I get my free corn chips, and I sit down at a nice little booth by my Reverend Nader self. I can't really cross my legs in this because the booths are really small, but you get the drift. And I plow into my burrito. Suddenly, from all sides, several men in colorful striped tank tops swarm my table. They say, how you like your burrito? They said, you got a big mouth on you, master. Ooh, we like how you look, sir. Is that spicy enough for you? You like a little more spice? And they all talk to me. Now, I am a man who considers himself a godly man. Oh, I do. Hallelujah. But there was something in this interaction that was a little bit tangly, tingly, jalapeno, something like that. And I was tempted. I looked to the man over the side here. I give him a wink. I look to the man over here. I give him a wink. And I give the other ones nods. And I say, come with me. We go up the staircase. No, we go down the staircase. We go up the ramp of Burritoville, and we go out onto 23rd Street. We could take a right. No, we could take a left. They all nod and smile. We go around 8th Avenue. We walk down 8th Avenue. You've walked down 8th Avenue, I know. And you see all the pretty men, all the husky women, and you see them just all open. And suddenly there was a contagion in my mind. Suddenly, that which I thought was hetero was suddenly homo. Like a bottle of milk, I was exploding. Homogenized. And I go, suddenly the walls of the buildings close in, the sky goes from blue to black, and we are dancing in the street. It seems like a little Lionel Richie. I hear the hallelujah, hallelujah, walking down the street. I was in 8th Avenue, I was dancing, I was sweating, I was feeling the nubs and the butts and the other things of the men, and they took me downstairs, someplace I never been before. You've never moved a chair. You realize when you move a chair, you go into another dimension. That's what I did. I was saying yes to this. No, I was not saying no, God. No, I was saying yes to this, and I went down to the darkest areas. I'm not going to bother you. I went down the darkest areas, and I sampled the illicit things that were down there. This is delicious. But it's not as delicious as what those things that were coming out of those men's hip bones and those juices was to me. I entertained them. You need to chew this for a second. I danced and gyrated. I said, what is going on? I'm really liking this. And this one guy, his name was Aaron, not this Aaron, another Aaron. A tall blonde guy with slick back hair. He happened to own a back porch stage. Not this Aaron again. He said he was from Inwood, near Dockman, near Seaman, and all those other disgusting terms. He said, you know, you look good. And I had never felt that. I'd never really experienced something that went into my eyes, excuse me, Bible, went into my eyes. A compliment from a man that went into my eyeballs and resonated in the retina and shot into the back of the brain. And suddenly, the occipital lobes were firing. There was Wernicke's area. It was bouncing back and forth between the lobes and shot down. My spine. Oh, tapped by man. Did I drip chocolate? Oh, thank you. I wear lotion. So I felt this man, this errant feeling. He took me back He took me out. He took me to his apartment, perhaps a flat. I don't know if he was English or he was whatever. And we went there, and we did things. We screwed, and I knew what screwed meant. I knew, ooh, I'm not going too graphic. This is what screw was. It was sitting in the back, and he spun me all around. Spun me all around the back end. I didn't know it was possible. I felt things inside. I felt things superficially. I felt things deeper. I felt things outside. I felt things inside. I felt things around. Außerhalb and innerhalb and ins Deutsch and auf Deutsch and everything. I was speaking German in tongues. Oh my God. Ich weiß, ich habe einen Geweidebruch, ich sage. It's something like I have a hernia in Deutsch, auf Deutsch. I said that, and suddenly I realized he was no longer looking at me. That man, that Aaron who had been smiling, been looking at me, who had shot compliments down my eyeballs and through my pupils. He was no longer a pupil. He was not with me. He was saying how much he had. That was my face. How much do I have? I don't quite understand that. I don't quite understand the question. He said, honey, I'm a prostitute, please. And I retched up my burrito right there. I didn't realize that I was with a prostitute. I didn't want to be with a prostitute. Suddenly, this strange situation became compounded. Suddenly, it was worse than what it was. I couldn't believe. I started cursing and I started sweating. I started crying. I didn't really quite understand what all this was. This person I envied, this gay man, this gay person, this person whom I appreciated so much and who brought me so much arousal was suddenly turning against me. I had no feelings. I hadn't even come yet. And it was at that moment when I thought the word come, I realized that that is not what I should be doing. I saw in his nightstand, I saw not Draquan Noir, which is that great fragrance. I saw some kind of Jean-Paul Gaultier, and I realized that bottle, that thing that was there was reminding me of something in my mind. As he sprayed it, he misted it around himself. It created a mist around his apartment, or was it his flat? It created around here. And in this, I saw an image. I saw a visage. That's right, I saw a visage. And I said, Aaron, stop. You're in the presence of God. That was what the visage was. The visage looked around the room, suddenly materialized, looked around, and I said, Reverend to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, it talks. Do you know who this is? He says, I know all. I say, thank you, Omniscient One. Why are you here? Reverend, you know why I'm here. If you know why he was here, say hallelujah. You don't know. Because you're all sinners, that's why. He was there because he had seen in me something that was not right, that was not decreed in this leather-bound thing that I'm holding in my hand. And you know what he said to me? He said this unto me. He said, and when Jehoiam the king with all his mighty men and all the princes heard his words, the king sought to put him to death. That made sense to me in that strange gay tongue. And at that time I said, Aaron, you're a lovely man. I hope your butthole is okay. I am going to leave you now. I cannot be in your possession. God looked at me and he nodded his head. Suddenly Aaron said, I need your money. I said, I'm sorry, take it up with G.O.D. and I skedaddled out of that. I went back down 8th Avenue. I went down 23rd Street. I turned and went down the handicap ramp of the Riverville. And you know what was sitting still on the table? They don't clean up. On the table was a half-eaten burrito. Inside. Half inside me exploded earlier in the apartment. Half on the table. And I finished it. And I realized that when I ate that burrito, that I didn't feel any kind of appreciation of girth. It was damn too much food, is what I thought. I didn't envy it one bit. I took it back to the counter. I said, I don't need this. I don't need this. And the woman behind the counter says, you want corn chips? I say, no, I don't want this. She didn't know what it meant. I said, it's a homosexual reference. I've just been touched by God and can't be attracted to these things anymore. She gave me a quizzical look. She said, muy loco, I leave. I go out on 23rd Street and I say, Everyone here on 23rd Street, come with me. We're going to church. And that is how I overcame gay envy. I want to thank you very much for this suggestion of envy and of gay. Whoever gave that one, who was that again? Thank you. I want to say hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
The Reverend Raymond Nader, everyone.